It's watching the game and stuff. He goes, so one time I studied the F word. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I studied the F word. Coaches use it. Coaches don't use it.
What's up, Cody?
Everybody got the Iowa State game pulled up?
Yeah.
Real games at 4:30.
Real games at 4:30? I did.
Everyone in this room we can finally.
Hawks to beat,
I was saying we can finally agree on something. Screw Fresno this week. So.
We kind of finished the other side of the stadium.
Everyone says, show the other side, show the other side. Remember, they just show the two sides that are done. But
how's it feel to just kind of be half all in?
Yeah, that $300 million didn't.
Then again, we're trying to take the choice of ours. So it's like,
But you know, Cody.
What is the score now? It was an ugly game with all this rain, all the rain and stuff. It's been ugly, yeah.
Whatever the Kansas City soccer to play.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to shut down the East Stadium here,
Yeah.
there's no backup place.
Yeah.
You'd be forced to go without the East side.
Yeah.
It'd be difficult. It'd be very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon State had to do it a couple years
I
ago.
remember that one. Did you go over there for that? That was bizarre.
Florida State did it last year. Florida State had up there, theirs was all messed up. So
I mean, I guess you could go to Jacksonville.
I
I guess you could go
guess,
to Jacksonville if you were them, if you really wanted to. But
true. But, well, all right. Good luck to you guys. Anybody traveling down there?
Yeah.
1, 2, got a few. 3.
You gonna go, Bob?
Bob, well, safe travels, you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you down there. Yep. I think Cody, I was gonna try to get on. I think I talked to Chris. Try to get you on the pregame show. Is that okay? All right. Down there I'll be on the field. I'll touch base with you.
FX3.
All right. New backdrop. Welcome everybody to the live stream here.
sweet new.
DJ shared the sponsors this year.
There you go. Brought the nation news show anymore. Brought the sports news. Guys all good?
All right, start. Go.
Well, guys, as always, thank you for being here. Fired up to be back rolling. So, guys, appreciate your guys' time, as always, coming out to listen to the press conference and where we're kind of going. And just so excited for this season, man. Thank you, Jesus, for an opportunity just to have an impact on these kids. As a coach, as you roll into season, I get judged on what happens 12 nights a year, right? You're getting into that mode. But as I'm open about, man, at the end of the day, like, why I'm here is to have an impact on these kids and hopefully grow them into be the best version of themselves so they can be world changers, right? That's really what I feel called to do by using the vehicle of football. So can't wait for game one. Proud of our staff, so proud of our players from January to now, the work they've put in, and just really excited to see them go cut it loose. We're a new team this year. South Florida is a new team. Every FBS team at this point in the year is a new team, and there's a lot of question marks. I get asked, like, what's going to be the strength of your team? What are some position groups that are going to stand out? It's really hard to say that because we haven't played anybody yet, right? We still have everything to prove. No different than South Florida. Last year is done. You can't start halfway up the mountain. The ball is going to get put down here Thursday at 5:30. So proud of where our guys are at, proud of where we're growing to. But before I get into any football stuff, I got to give Bob Beeler a shout out, man. Bucknell Hall of Fame. Let's clap it up for Bob Beeler, man. Big time. Big time. But as always, guys, just can't wait to get in this run with you. Proud of how our guys finished fall camp. We've talked a lot about that through the scrimmages and where we're at. And so now really curious to see how our team plays game one, right? You can sit here and talk about what you hope to accomplish. Game one, you figure out a lot about your team. And then hopefully every team is growing from week 1 to week 2 to week 3, so on and so forth, and sustaining that throughout. Got a really, really good football team we're playing game one. I mean, thank the world to South Florida. And I told our team, I think I'm going to be one of the most talented teams we see all year. We're going to play some talented teams. I put South Florida right up there with everybody we play, from team speed to physicality to schematically to just overall roster. I mean, Coach Golish has done a phenomenal job building that roster. I mean, seeing what he's done in the time he's been at South Florida, I mean, back-to-back bowl game wins. I mean, he's played everybody in the country. Really, really proud of what he's done at South Florida, man. So we know what we're going to get from them. We're going to get their best, and we know that they're a really, really good football team and one of the best football teams we're going to see all year. Talking about their offense, obviously, I mean, their quarterback, number 17, Brown, he will be one of the best football players we see all year on either side of the ball. Not even just talking one of the best quarterbacks we see. He's one of the best football players we will see in the 2025 season. Have a ton of respect for him. Have done a lot of research on him kind of over the summertime, getting to know more about him. Man, I got a lot of respect for the young man. I mean, his character, how he leads. He gets a lot of credit in regards to how he runs the ball, which he should. He can make every throw now, too. I mean, he is big, strong. I mean, he's an NFL quarterback. We will see him play on Sundays here soon. He's earned that. I mean, he's a leader, how he speaks. I mean, he grabs your attention in his interviews. We got our hands full with 17. And then, I mean, their offensive line will be one of the best offensive line units we see all season. I mean, veteran offensive line group. There's a mentality about their offensive line. They work together. They impose their will on defenses. And then you throw the tempo in on that. I mean, there's a lot of clips where there's a defensive front can't even get lined up against them. And then when they do, this offensive line punches them in the mouth. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the mentality with which they train their fronts. And then schematically, how they use every inch of the field. I mean, Coach Golish has been doing this for a long time. The tempo, the speed, the splits, all the different run schemes, all the different motions that you got to deal with. I mean, our defense has their hands full. And that's why I've been very open about them, about the task at hand. And it all starts with number 17. I mean, once again, one of the best players we will see all year on either side of the ball. And he's going to make his plays. I told our defense, like, he's going to make his plays. Those elite players, they're going to make their plays. We just got to stay consistent and keep our focus, especially with the tempo and all the things outside from the travel. I know without question that is going to be a packed house on Thursday night. That's happening, right? Can't control that. Can't control the weather. We can control our prep. We know offensively what they're going to do to us.
You guys have some unique ways of preparing them for that weather. Just where do you get some? I know we shouldn't be surprised, but where do you get some of that inspiration from?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in just the other two sides really quick, and then I'll jump to the weather. Yeah, so defensively, Tyler Orlando has been doing this for a long time. He brings so much experience, and all his defenses, I mean, they're sound. He creates absolute chaos. for an offense. I mean, how to deal. I mean, you're dealing with odd fronts, even fronts, multiple packages, and what they are very, very impressive with is they take the ball away. I mean, they've led in the turnover battle so many times wherever he's been, and that's a mentality, and it's something obviously defensively that I look at. Man, shoot, I got a lot of respect for that because that's something we need to grow in defensively is how we take the ball away. They've got a lot of really good transfers come in. We've kind of done some research on some of the guys that they've brought in on both sides of the ball, but especially on defense. I mean, they did a great job bringing in some talented players from the transfer portal that can create chaos from the back end to the front. And what they do defensively, they've got a lot of answers. They got answers for everything you kind of give them in regards to how they align, coverages they play, and they're going to be on the attack and they're going to take the ball away. So we got to do a great job with our communication. And like I said, got a lot of respect for how they play defensively. Lastly, special teams wise, we know they're going to have speed. I mean, they have some guys in their team that can flat out fly. So we know whoever was their punt returner, kickoff returner, they've got a lot of guys there that can take it the distance. So if we're wrong on our fits, they're going to make you pay in a major way. It's going to be an explosive play. They play relentless on special teams. They also, I mean, they're going to pick their shots too. I mean, there's a lot of surprise onside on film. They'll fake a punt. I mean, they had a kickoff return to the house against San Jose State by a fake reverse. So they got really good schematic answers, and their guys buy in on special teams. I mean, obviously, I got a lot of respect for them on how hard they play on special teams. That's a culture piece that Coach Golish has done a really good job instilling because their guys are relentless on special teams. So in all three phases, I mean, this is a stinking really good football team, one of the most talented teams we'll see all year. Playing them game one on the road in the elements, we got to get ready to prepare and play our best. And we know that our team, our staff, we know the task at hand. So excited to go cut it loose on Thursday. In answer to the question, in the elements, I mean, we don't control that. Neither does South Florida, right? Is it going to rain? Is it going to be a lightning delay? Is it going to be thunderstorm? Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be humid? And we're preparing our hardest to simulate those things. At the end of the day, the ball is going to get put down. It's going to be 11 on 11, and we're all going to be playing in the same environment. And we got to get our guys ready to focus in that space.
So you talked about Byron Brown a lot, which, again, we were record books last year, and I think he's just calm. So I guess just what can you try and do to stop him?
Yeah, good question. I mean, when you're playing one of the, an elite football player, which I would really put Brown in that mix, you got to have answers. You got to have schematic answers. You have to make sure your defense and whoever you're going is very aware of who you're playing. But you also got to give yourself grace to know they're going to make some plays, man. I mean, Brown's going to get his plays. He's an elite football player. There's not one schematic answer that can take him away. I don't care who you are. I mean, he's an elite football player. He's a 3-year starter and has put up yards on everybody he's played because he's elite at what he does. So we just got to stay in the fight. We got to keep our focus. They're going to get their plays. We're going to get ours. We got to stay in it, and we got to find ways to slow them down.
I know the depth charts, it is what it is. You have to put something out there for week one. But was there any battles that stood out to you or guys that were super impressive that won spots? And some of those oars on the offensive line, how much is that injury related versus guys fighting there?
Yeah, good question, BJ. I think just like anything, I mean, we're putting out a depth chart for game one, and we're going to take the field of that depth chart. But I promise you that depth chart is going to change game two because either how guys play or how, whatever happens, there's going to be a really big evaluation of our team after we play South Florida. So there's some oars in there because we're going to rotate guys. We're going to see if that position battle is still neck and neck. We're going to take the field and we're going to roll guys to see who is better and who deserves to get more reps than others. In the offensive line, there's some guys banged up through fall camp that hopefully we get back for the game that we're going to be able to rotate in and out, hopefully. And it's also guys competing to get more playing time. So the oars on the depth chart are really how we see it, where it can go either way. Whoever's going to play better than the other one's going to become the 2 or the 1 as we shake out, especially on the offensive line.
Caleb and then on the depth chart, I'm not sure many of us thought it'd be a backup punter.
Yeah, he's done a really good job with it. I mean, it gives us a really good answer. I mean, we've got some different things with him as a backup punter that we're going to be able to do that open up a lot of things for us in the punt game. And obviously, Caleb, I mean, he's worked his tail off. He wanted to be the backup quarterback and obviously wants to be the starter at some point in his time here. Max Cutforth did a really good job through fall camp. I mean, really proud of him. And he's earned the right to be our 2. Caleb's our third quarterback. And so we're going to find more ways to use his athletic ability and his arm on some special teams.
I know you guys will always have a few, true freshmen on the depth chart, but it feels like a few more than normal this year. What do you like about this recruiting class, and just how much of an impact can they make right away?
Yeah, like I said before, I really like the class we signed in December. I mean, not just in who we believe they can become here as football players, love their character. I mean, we recruit always. Talent sets the floor, character sets the ceiling. And I believe that these guys have a high talent level, but that's their floor. These guys have high character, and that's where we've been able to grow them really fast. And our staff's done a really good job. I mean, we've got some true freshmen that are going to play game one against, like I said, a very, very good football team in South Florida. And we'll see how they do, right? And that's the curiosity as a coach, that they've been through everything from decks to scrimmages to everything. Is different when it's game one, right? You find out a lot. But, Bol has had a really good, 8 months that he's been here. He's done a lot of really good things. He's going to get his opportunity against South Florida to cut it loose. And it's cool to see, some of our young receivers are going to get a shot. Quentin Brown, Kemonte Williams, true freshmen that have done a really good job through fall camp, and they're going to get their opportunity to go cut it loose. So excited to see these guys compete, excited to see them cut it loose on some special teams. And then you learn and grow from those moments. Game reps are invaluable. And the only way to grow in this game is by playing it, and especially playing it on the big stage, which we're going to be on Thursday night. So we'll learn a lot about our group going forward. There's still some true freshmen that maybe aren't listed on the depth chart that will play for us this season. They maybe just aren't there yet. Just like every year, there's a guy, and I don't know who yet, there's a guy or two on scout team right now working his tail off that's going to continue to get better week in and week out. And week 7 of the season, he's going to be, have a huge role on offense and defense. Don't know who that is yet, but excited to see how that shakes out.
That pass protection was kind of a big emphasis heading into the offseason. How do you feel about the secondary heading into this game against a really versatile USF team? What improvements have you seen here in fall camp? Yeah, we'll find out Thursday night, right? I mean, some of the things you're talking about, it was a huge, growth area for us as a team, and our defensive backs, and it gets focused on, just like anything. You can look at a stat, and then it's easy for you to go right to a position group. That's holistic, right? If there's a category that we're not successful in defensively or offensively, it's not because one position group is not doing what they're supposed to. Maybe there's something that they need to change and grow in, but it's the whole defense. It's the whole team. At the end of the game, they're not going to, you lost, but this position group played really well. You win as a team, you lose as a team. And I see it no different defensively, right? There's some things that we did really good in regards to, creating chaos plays against quarterbacks. There's a lot of things in the back end that we need to fix. But there's also some plays where we didn't get home on some pressures we called that put them in harm's way. So I'm proud of how our back end's grown this offseason. We're going to put it on full display on Thursday night and see how they do. And especially against a South Florida team, they are going to make you make those plays. They're going to make you make tackles in space. They're going to make you win a 50-50 ball as a corner, as a safety. Our guys got to go do that. I mean, I love that offense because they put your entire defense in conflict. So we'll learn a lot about our back end Thursday night.
The running backs, there's a lot of talk about them. How do you feel overall with Sherrod in that group? And we don't see Breezy Dubar on the depth chart. I just didn't know if that was him not being available in a lot of camp, or how do you kind of see that shaking out? Yeah,
Breezy is he's got to be healthy, man. He's a guy we're working our tail off to get healthy for this game. And so proud of Breezy, BJ. It's just he's got to stay healthy to be available. And we hope he's going to be available for this game. It's going to be a game time decision if he is. Those other three have done a really good job. Like I said before, I think Malik, Sherrod, and Sire Gaines will really be, back and forth in regards to who's getting the load. Like they're both going to get probably equal amount of carries as we go into this game, right? That's kind of our plan. We'll see how it goes. And then Dylan Riley's had a really good fall camp. He's kind of that third guy that he's going to get his reps. He's going to get his plays to go cut it loose. And all three of them are going to have an impact on special teams, and we need that to happen.
About receivers, a lot of new faces this year. How do you feel coming into week one at that position?
Yeah, just like anything, Bob, almost similar to the question about our defensive back end. I like where we're at right now. We got to go put it on film game one. Proud of how our receivers have played through fall camp, things that we've grown in. I'm excited that we got some really young freshmen that we're going to be able to go out there and cut their teeth because that's going to grow them a lot in their time here. Latrell Caples, the bona fide leader of that group, and he's done a great job not only leading the receivers, but leading our offense and team as a whole. And some guys have stepped up. Like I told, Chris Marshall's had a really good fall camp to date. I'm excited to see him cut it loose game one. I'm not going to promise what that's going to look like because I haven't seen him doing a game yet. Excited for him to do that here in a couple days. Ben Ford's had a really good fall camp. And like I said, a lot of these young guys set up. Cam Bates is always the guy that shows up on special teams and offense. So we've got a really good group, but excited to see who elevates when the game's on the line.
With Chris, I mean, we kept saying consistency and let's see it tomorrow. Let's see it tomorrow. Now here we are, game week, and he's listed as a starter and has gotten to this point. I mean, I know you said still got to see it on Thursday, but I mean, if he can stay healthy and play out there, have you seen enough to think he's a guy that can be one of the better receivers in this league? Or?
I absolutely do, BJ. I mean, he's always been a very, very talented receiver. Period. End of story. That's not my opinion. That's who he is. But we knew he needed to grow in his consistency. Now, month into fall camp or whatever it's been, very proud of what he's done this offseason. Now I know for him, he's excited to go cut it loose on Thursday night. And from there, we'll be able to see what he does and how we can help him grow in the future. But today, man, I can't be more proud of Chris Marshall and what he's been able to do through this offseason, through fall camp. And I know he's ready to go play this game, right? It's been a while since he's been able to get in a game and really cut it loose. He's ready for that moment. And my big message to him, even when we take the field Thursday, is just go play the game, man. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't try and be someone, I got to do this now. Just go be you. That's going to be a message to our whole team. Game one, there's going to be so much emotion on either side of the ball. Game one, awesome environment, playing, two really good teams playing. My message to our team is going to be, guys, go cut it loose. Go play the game. Whoever wins this game isn't going to be who has the most emotion. It's going to be who executes. And I think about no different with Chris. Like, he has put the work in to get himself to this point. I'm just excited to see him go cut it loose, BJ. No.
That right tackle spot, what are you hoping to see with Dalen Matoyer and Hall Schmidt the first game?
Yeah. I mean, Dalen Matoyer's had a really good fall camp, good offseason, good fall camp. Hall Schmidt's been battling back from injuries, been able to get him back rolling. So excited for both those guys. We really plan on you seeing both, but really proud of Big Lou from where he was last year, played sparingly, was able to cut his teeth in some games, and seeing him really step up. And I think he had one of his best practices as a Bronco, scrimmage number 2. And that you really like to see that as a coach, because that shows you the growth. So excited for both of those guys.
What's the biggest way he's grown in the offseason, Matoyer?
I think just his mentality, right? He's a really good athlete, explosive, but just the mentality he plays with has grown a lot in regards to, doing your job and then doing it at a high level and imposing your will on a defense. That's what we need to see from all 5 of our offensive linemen. No different than USF does with their 5 veteran O-linemen. That's really grown from Big Lou, and proud of that.
You said, obviously controlling emotions and stuff going into game one. As a head coach that's, in your second full year, what were your kind of emotions, or what will your emotions kind of be, to see if this all, once again, was a good plan and if it all works again?
Yeah. Just like anything, Jay, really good question, man. Like, as I go into game one as a head coach, you really look at, what are we learning every day? Right. And that's something I've stolen from Coach Pete. Like, it's all about what happened and what did you learn? We got done with fall camp, whatever it is, a week ago. It was no different after that. All right, guys, fall camp as a staff, what do we learn? What are we growing? What are some things a year from now in fall camp we got to do better? And I think about it no different as we prep for game one, Jay. No different for me. Whatever year coaching, whatever year as a head coach, I think you always got to be ready to, this is what we believe is our best plan. And however it goes, we got to be ready to learn and be better in week 2. And that's really what I want me and our staff and our players to be focused on, and less about just what the outcome looks like. Does that make sense? And that's why in the offseason, so much of it for us has been process over outcome. I want us to have the best process in the country. The ball is going to roll funny sometimes, right? You might win a game, but you didn't. Your process was still off, right? So as a coach, that's what we control. How the ball is going to bounce Thursday night, the catch here, a missed catch here, a missed tackle, a made tackle. That's football. That's why this is the greatest game on the planet. For me, I just want to make sure we are preparing our players with our process to go be their best. That's what I'm double, triple checking right now, always, because that's always what I want to be as a coach. I want to make sure that they have everything they need to go be successful. Then they got to go play the game. They got to go put the ball down and play this game they've been playing forever, and don't play with any fear of failure. Go cut it loose. That's what I'm kind of really focused on right now, Jay, and less about, well, I wonder about these things. Like, there's a lot of things I'm curious about, position groups or players, how they're elevating. I'm really just doubling down on the process of our team.
When it comes to a guy like Ben Ford, listed as a co-starter right now on your depth chart, when things don't go somebody's way, they can maybe look for maybe a new setting, a fresh start, something like that. What does it mean that Ben has stuck it out to this point, and now he's in a position to maybe be a starter?
Yeah, Jay, I mean, Ben Ford, I can't be more proud of that young man. He's been through so many injuries in his time here. He's just been through a lot. And seeing where he is now, still battling through, didn't miss a day in fall camp, battled, bring in, new freshman receivers and these different guys and never lost his edge. To your point, Jay, I think the common thing to do, and you see that in this landscape, well, if this isn't the shortest line or if this isn't the easiest place for me, I'm out of here. That's not Ben Ford. I mean, he's going to do whatever it takes for this team. He's going to put his head down and work. And that's why he's a huge part of this team, not even just in regards to being a receiver for us, a huge part of our entire locker room, huge part of our entire culture, because he's all in with what we're doing here. And I'm so proud of Ben. I'm just so proud of him to be able to go cut it loose here in a couple days.
D-line, I think I counted 6 newcomers on the D-line,
Yeah.
on the depth chart here on the D-line. I know you guys had to obviously, rebuild that with some of the key guys you lost. But how do you feel about that group? And for fans, it's a lot of, new faces out there.
Yeah, we'll find out Thursday night, BJ. Fire it up. No, it's really like how our D-line's grown through fall camp. I mean, Coach Chinander, Coach Miley have done a really good job because there's a lot of new faces. There's some guys that are not new to us, but new to maybe the fan base, and Lopez Sanusi, Michael Madri, like they've been here. They just haven't really played a lot to date. They're going to be called on to play a lot. And as we go into it, I mean, Braxton Feely is the leader in that room. He's the veteran coming back. But then you really got 5 guys there, BJ, that we're excited to see how they play. So, and the consistency with which they play with will dictate how they are game 2, game 3, and who is going to elevate to really be that number 2, that number 3. Because right now, it's open competition. And I've been open with our defensive front, just like Coach Chinander. We'll find out who takes the field with Braxton Feely maybe at the hotel. Because I just want to – right now, we still got to continue to push and grow. I like all of them, but who's going to elevate themselves to be the guy?
3 tackles, 3 nose tackles, and 3 D tackles listed. I mean, do you plan on all 6 of those guys? I mean, how deep's the rotation going to go?
Yeah, it's all going to be about how the game goes. I mean, this offense that our team is going against, I mean, they are one of the fastest, I think the fastest offense in the country. So they're not going to let you sub much. And when you do, you better be ready to roll some D-line because they're going to try and run your defense off the field. So we got to be ready to roll all 6 of them, and all 6 of them got to be ready to play.
Gaines, like if you shake his hand, it feels like he's going to break it. When you interview him, it feels like he's staring through your soul. What does his intensity mean to you guys on game day?
Yeah, I mean, Sire Gaines has that mentality that, I wish I could bottle it up and give it to everybody on this team, right? I mean, he's wired that way. I don't know if he took a day off this entire summertime, right? Because he just, with getting hurt last season, having football taken from you, when it's taken from someone who loves this game so much and loves this team so much, that's hard. That's hard, man. And he's been through that. Seeing him now healthy, cutting it loose in fall camp, I mean, he just can't wait to go play this game with his brothers. I mean, he's similar to some of these other guys we're talking about. Me with him game day, it's going to be more mellowing him to focus on just go play the game and have fun because he is so intense because he loves this game so much and he loves his team. Doesn't want to let his team down. That's who he is.
17-year-old last year. How much better is he even from that now?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a phenomenal offseason. I mean, he's ready to cut it loose. He's from the things he did as a 17-year-old, which we all saw glimpses of things that could get you really excited, to seeing him go train this offseason, even battling some things this offseason injury-wise. But just seeing him never lose his focus, never lose his edge, never all of a sudden get casual, right? We talk about casualness leads to casualties. Never once happened for him. And seeing him, what he's done this offseason, he's go ready to cut it loose. And Malik Sherrod in that room with Dylan Riley, Breezy, like as a group, Coach Montgomery's done a great job with those guys. I mean, they're ready to go as a stable, go cut it loose.
Speaking of all the running backs, especially Sherrod and Gaines, they seem somewhat different, body shapes and everything. How much does that give you an edge with the fact that they might have different strengths? Yeah,
they definitely have different strengths, different skill sets, right? So it's going to be really good for our offense, this season to have. They both can run our entire offense, right? They both do a lot on special teams, but they give a little bit of a different edge to whatever play they're doing, right? And so that's going to be a really good switch up for our offense, and excited to use both those weapons.
What did Colton Boomer do to win the kicking job?
Yeah, he battled some injuries as he was kind of through fall camp, but when he's healthy, which he is now, he's really good, BJ. And something we're going to continue to evaluate. Once again, that might change this week. That might change game one, depending how he plays. But when he's healthy and he's doing what he's supposed to, he's really, really good at what he does.
Well, Jake Grip at linebacker, you know, it's going to change through the season, like you said. But just what's he done to, I guess, win that spot?
Very consistent. Yeah, Jake Grip, very consistent. Loves his teammates. He's been had a huge role on special teams. Played a little bit on defense last year, and this offseason, I mean, he was like, man, I just want to play. I want to start. I know I can do it. And a lot of guys will say that, right? As a head coach, I meet with everybody, and they'll tell you that. It's a very few that actually put the work in to get that done. Jake Grip's put the work in to earn the right to be a starter here. That could change from game one to game two, to your point, Sean, but he's earned the right to go start game one for us because he's very consistent. You know he's going to do what he's supposed to do when he's supposed to do it, no matter if he's banged up, tired, doesn't matter. You can trust Jake Grip. And I think a lot of that comes from the leader in that room in Marco, who's really set that standard there. Like I said, Bowen Phelps is going to play a lot game one, right? We've got a couple different packages we roll defensively that we're working through to make sure it can be ready to roll. And you're going to see a lot of different backers, the DBs, rolling in different packages.
Kind of the versatility you might have there. Like I said, Jake, you know, he was at edge last year, and Bowen Phelps was a safety. You know, you've got all these guys kind of with different skill sets.
Yeah.
How big of a help is that going to be coming into this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's our job as coaches to make sure we put everybody in the right situation to help our team. And not only put them in the right situation to help our team, what can they do best? And I think, you know, Bowen Phelps moving from safety to linebacker, he's got a really, really bright future there. Even as a young player, like he's got a really, really bright future there because he can help our team there. Jake Grip, no different. There's going to be some things he did last year that helped us, but he's going to help us a lot more this year playing inside linebacker. And so that's where we look at no different offensively, defensively, especially like how we create packages and how do we get our best 11. Maybe you're not starting in this package, but we're going to get you in this package, and trying to throw an offense off by being able to use multiple packages helps us.
Back to the weather, you know, the last two times you went to Florida, you had to change plans because of it. Just what did you learn from those two trips, both good and bad?
Yeah, really good question. I mean, been a part of a lot of different trips out east. Game one from Florida State to Central Florida to Georgia Southern last year. And there's things that as you go through it, you learn and grow. I mean, our prep, you know, how we hydrate our guys, how we train, things you learn over the years. And so we try to put that into practice this fall camp. At the end of the day, the environment is the environment. And that's my biggest message to our players. The environment is the environment. Nobody controls that. Jesus is the only one that does, right? I don't. But we do control how prepared we are. And regardless where you play, game one, you'll see guys cramping in pregame game one just because the emotion's so high. So there's a lot of things game one, the environment that we just try. My goal as a coach is to make sure our guys are not thrown off by whatever it is. If it's a fill in the blank weather, that's the game. South Florida's playing the exact same deal we are. And whatever, they're from down there, all that, at the end of the day, ball's going to get put down at 5:30.
With that said, 3:30 on a Thursday, kind of a weird start. I don't know if you're asking the mayor to try to get, you know, businesses closed or what, but what do you make of that? And then you do get a chance to be on ESPN, though, you know, the only game kind of going on at that point, which is obviously a big deal too.
Yeah, it's funny. I was even talking to my wife about what time kickoff was and what it is. Because 3 kids, she's not going to be able to come out there. Nobody wants William, our 5-month-old, in that 5-hour flight. I promise you that. He'll probably be puking on the person in front of him. But it's an interesting time in Boise. I was at 5:30 Eastern on ESPN. Huge moment for our program. Huge moment for South Florida's program. It's a college football game one that as a fan you want to watch and be a part of. And if I'm a betting man, I know Bronco Nation is going to find a way to be watching this game at 3:30. I'd be hard pressed to find any corporation in this state that's not going to be okay with their workers watching this game.
You guys have always spent a ton of time together, but is there anything you look forward to about like the first real road trip where it's just truly you guys off, you know, traveling across the country to go accomplish a mission? Is there any moments about that you like or stand out?
Yeah, Jay. I mean, it's everything. These moments that these kids have, and I tell them, I talk a lot about this, especially towards the end of the year when the seniors, you know, senior game, and this is the moments these guys are going to remember 2 years from now, maybe 5 years from now. Very rarely are going to be in-game moments. It's going to be those moments. Even as a coach, it's going to be the locker room. It's going to be the hotel. It's going to be, and a lot of times when stuff doesn't go well, right? Where it's like, hey, remember when this happened? Or, hey, they didn't have enough of this food. Or remember when the AC went out in our hotel? Like, those are the moments that create this brotherhood through the vehicle of football that create lifelong relationships, right? And so that's what always my message, like embrace that. Embrace what this trip is. Long flight, all this, enjoy it with your teammates, man. It's the greatest team sport on the planet as long as you let it be that way, as long as you push those values forward. And so I can't wait to spend more time with these guys. I know I'm excited to spend more time with them. They're probably excited to spend time with me, I'll be honest with you, at this time of the year. But I love being around. I love seeing them interact. I love seeing them be around each other. We had a slip and slide at practice the other day, and was not my brainchild. Charlotte Siegel deserves all the credit. But I was telling my wife after, like, just seeing them be kids, seeing them 17 to 23, just go out there and be kids. Have fun. Slide on a slip and slide, right? Like, you forget that these are young men that we're growing to be champions in life. And I don't want to miss those moments with them. As we get ready to go play a big-time game, I'm going to enjoy all those moments with them too.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Spencer.
You're good.
We're good up here? We're good. All right. Questions?
Hey, what just going into game one here as the OC, and even now doing a weekly press conference like this with us and stuff, and just what's this whole thing been to you, meant to you, and just how excited are you to take that, make that plate sheet and go out there and do this game one?
Yeah, I think it means so much to me just to be in this position. I know how much it means to our fans, our university, so I take that responsibility to heart. It's been a lot of fun learning new things, experiencing new things, leaning on the great staff that we have. And at some point, you got to put the ball down and play, as Coach D says.
I know, obviously you've been very involved in different schemes and plays and all that kind of stuff, but what's it been like actually putting together your game plan and having the call sheet, and you're the one that's going to get to ultimately make some of those decisions? What's that been like?
It's been great. It's been a learning experience, like I said before, but I've enjoyed the process of it. I've enjoyed kind of being involved in more aspects of the offense, of the game plan, learning more, being around different positions more frequently. So it's been a really good experience, and I'm going to continue to learn as we go.
When you were a kid at Timberline High School, did you ever imagine that you would have been the offensive coordinator here?
No. The plan was to be a high school history teacher, so it's a little bit different. But like I said, I've spent most of my life in this program, so I know what this means, and I really appreciate that opportunity and this opportunity, and I'm excited for it.
When did the plan change from being a high school history teacher to really loving and being a football coach?
I think it's when I got done playing and I volunteered and just wanted to be around the game and see what college coaching is all about. And I think as soon as I did that, I was hooked, and the rest is history.
Coach, you got a lot of pretty awesome weapons on offense here headed into week one. I imagine that's a lot of fun creatively to be able to scheme around some of that talent. Talk about some of those weapons, especially a guy like Matt Lauder at tight end.
Yeah, so Matt's obviously a huge part of our offense. He's a weapon for us. What I appreciate about Matt is how much he's evolved and improved since last season. I think his game is well-rounded. We're pretty fortunate where we can use multiple tight ends, and he always has a role in every aspect of our game plan. So I'm excited for him to put on display kind of how much he's improved in the last year. As far as other weapons, we got a bunch in the running back room. That's a huge part of who we are and our DNA. Chris Marshall has had a phenomenal camp. I'm excited for him. Latrell Caples is making plays all over the field. Incredible leader for our offense. So we got a lot of different weapons. Now it's just everybody doing their job consistently. That's what we're focused on.
What are you seeing in the South Florida defense for this coming game?
See a lot. I see an experienced group. I see a defense that creates a lot of havoc, with TFLs, with turnovers. I see a really strong linebacker group that's returning, that's experienced, that gets after their opponents. I'm excited to see how we match up and how we compete. But no, I think Todd Orlando does a phenomenal job. He's experienced. He's been doing it at a high level for a long time. They do a really good job creating confusion and creating some big plays on the defensive side.
Spencer was telling us that he sees Malik and Sire probably getting similar, number of carries in this game. How do you kind of envision that going? Is it more drive to drive, play to play, and how do you those guys feeding off each other because they're kind of different running backs and different styles? How do you kind of what's kind of the plan there? I guess.
Yeah, I think to Coach D's point, I think they're going to be working together. So a lot of that is in game, the flow of the game, how many carries they have up to that point, what the role is on special teams, what the play is specifically. I think a lot of those things are going to factor into it, but it's my job and our job to get both those guys the ball.
Is that more of a Coach Montgomery kind of subbing those guys in and out, or is that you, or how do you kind of decide who the running back is?
It's both. It's both. Coach Montgomery is going to be on the sideline next to those guys. He's got a really good feel for what that looks like within a game. And then within a game plan, obviously, there's things that are designed or designated to certain guys based on play.
What did Dylan Riley do this camp? And obviously, I know Breezy's obviously been dealing with some injury stuff, but what's the confidence level of giving the ball to Dylan?
Very high, very high. I thought he had a great camp. He showed that he has grown, he's matured, he's developed within the football IQ of things and how he sees the run game. He also has grown on teams, so he's going to have a role. I'm very confident in Dylan Riley, and as we all know, he's got that home run threat speed.
Go ahead.
How excited are you to kind of give Maddox Magson his first game? It's truly running the offense. It's kind of been his offense now, and there's no more Genty. So just how excited are you to let him go loose?
Very excited. I think, we're all very, very confident in Maddox and what he's capable of doing, and it's his responsibility to kind of run the show for the offense on the field, and I have full trust in him, and I'm excited for him to show everybody what he can do.
Over the years here, Nate, like the OCs here have had a kind of a criteria of what they want out of their quarterback, a couple of pillars. What do you want out of your quarterback? What do you think, leads to success on game day?
Yeah, for me, it's number one, toughness. Can you stand in there? Are you going to be that leader for the offense? You're going to display that with your mental and physical toughness. Number two is decision-making, taking what they give you, making that right decision, the smart decision, because that's what we're all about, being efficient, making good decisions, letting the game come to us. And I know Maddox can handle all that, and he's already proven that he can do that.
What Steele and Matoya have been doing through the offseason and through fall camp, I know Hall has dealt with some injuries, but to be in position to get a starting spot going into game week at that right tackle spot.
Yeah, he's been improving throughout the whole winter, summer, and now fall camp. He's been improving, and he's gotten a lot better since he got that experience playing a little bit last year. So I think what that does is gives him confidence, and it gives us more depth. So I'm excited about where he's at now, but he's got to go out and do it on game day.
Chris Marshall, this guy's obviously been overcome a lot, off the field, on the field, just trying to get to this point, and now to go through a whole fall camp healthy, and you guys see what he can do. And how excited for you, I guess, are you for him? I guess just to maybe be able to go out there and finally maybe live up to some of that potential.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited for him. I think he's doing all the right things on and off the field, and I'm excited for him to see the benefits of that, see all that hard work pay off, and to get in there and kind of show you guys and show everybody and prove to himself what he's capable of.
And is that Yeah, Spencer, I mean, is that being one of the elite receivers? I mean, maybe not even just in this conference. I mean, is he that? I mean, not to put too much on him, but I mean, is he?
No, we're all confident in his abilities. We know what he's capable of. Now he's just got to go out and do it.
I mean, ability never seemed to ever be the question with him. So just what maybe is the biggest difference you've seen in him? I mean, I think literally like the simplest thing last year, if you told us you'd been in practice every day this year would have been, a step obviously. So what is the biggest thing for him?
Yeah, I think part of it's our program, Coach Danielson, what we emphasize beyond just the football aspect of things. He's totally bought into that. I think his preparation off the field, both in the meeting room, in the training room, in the weight room, has prepared him to stay consistent. So he's kind of put all those things together, which we know allows him to have an impact on the field. Go ahead.
What's been the most impressive thing about Malik Sherrod, just getting him in here and seeing him, up close? And when you guys recruited him and brought him in, obviously you knew he'd be a big special teams guy, but I don't know if you would have projected he'd be, the co-starter on the first week depth chart. But what's he done, and what can he do for you?
Yeah, what he's done is he's brought a competitive spirit that everybody on our team feeds off of, number one. And number two, I think his vision, that's what I was most impressed by, just initially seeing him out of practice, is just his vision in the run game, how he sets things up, how he sees things. He does that at an elite level. So all that combined, we're excited that he's part of our team.
What does Sire Gaines' intensity mean to your offense?
He's a tone setter with his intensity, with his physicality, with his approach. He kind of gets everybody going, and then he's consistent with it. He does it every day, every practice. You guys have seen it. He's the same guy. So he brings that mentality to our entire offense and to our team.
A whole true freshman on the too deep for your wide receiver position. Just how excited are you to just unleash them and kind of almost have them be hidden weapons for you guys?
Yeah, I think it says a lot about Coach Miller and how he's developed those guys and recruited the right guys. They've been tremendous for us. We knew we were going to have to rely on them at some point, so I'm excited for them to get their first taste of real football and college football and get their opportunities when they come.
Overall, the receiver room, that was you guys lost some questions from fans, whoever, about how that group was going to be. I mean, do you feel going into week one that's not a concern or question for you? It doesn't seem.
No, not at all. Not at all. Very confident in that group and Coach Miller and what he's done with that group.
Talk about your confidence in this offensive line headed into this year. I mean, you've got a lot of experienced guys, some NFL talent on that line. I mean, that's got to feel good as an offensive coordinator.
Absolutely. I think it feels really good for the quarterback, having Cage Casey as your left tackle out there. But no, it's a big part of who we are. It's a big part of our offensive identity. It all starts up front, and to have the experience we have coming back is huge. But it's a position where it's always evolving. You're always getting better. You're always proving it week in and week out. So I'm excited for those guys to go out and prove it.
Matt's excited to go home or go near where he was born and raised to play.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a Florida guy. That's what he says. So I'm sure he's really excited to just be near his family and be around his family when they're at the game.
It seems like he's a guy that just kind of embraces the moment. Like it doesn't seem like the moment's ever really too big for him. At least last year.
No, I think that's when he's his best. The bigger the moment, the more that comes out of him. I think that's what makes him a great competitor.
With him and Matt Wagner together, the different skill sets there, being able to, get both those guys on the field together, what's that allow you to do? And your thoughts on that, I guess.
Yeah, I think anytime that you have two tight ends that you trust fully, that are capable of doing just about everything in your offense, I think that gives you a lot of flexibility. A big part of who we are is using multiple tight ends, and to have the caliber of a Wagner and a Lauder, I think, is huge for just what we want to do offensively.
We saw Wagner a little bit last year, but I mean, I know Matt, Lauder gets the headlines and stuff, but how much of a step are we going to see from Matt Wagner this year?
Huge step. I think he did a great job this offseason transforming his body and preparing for this season. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited for you guys to see him as well.
What did Max do to really separate himself in that QB2 battle?
It's all about consistency. That's really the main thing, what it boils down to, is consistently going out to do exactly what I talked about before, making the plays you're supposed to make, let the game come to you, run the offense. And I think Max has proven that he can do that consistently for us. And that's kind of what stood out.
Staying with the quarterbacks, did you know Caleb was had some punching talent as well? Or
I did not. I found out with the rest of you that he has a little talent right there. That was pretty cool to watch.
When Ben Ford came here, he had learned the receiver position essentially, right?
Yeah.
What has he done through all that he's gone through to climb to the top of the depth chart?
Ben's an Iron Man, I think. What he's been through with his injuries in the past and how he's stayed committed to the program, to the rehab process to get healthy and then learn the position. I think he's a great example of what a Bronco is, and I'm excited that he's earned the right to get on the field and show everybody what he's capable of.
Any more? Yeah, I got one. Just a lot of offensive injuries last year, just throughout the year. I mean, you got Chris Marshall, you had Mason Randolph, obviously Sire Gaines. I mean, as a former player yourself, talk about how frustrating that is to be out of the sidelines watching this happen. And then if you could kind of expand on just the mental toughness it takes to come back and what these guys have shown in camp.
Yeah, I think the type of guys that we have, anytime that they're watching, they're going to be frustrated because they're competitive. But that fire is what fuels them through the rehab process in the training room to get back, get healthy. And a lot of times they come back stronger, both mentally and physically, and better able to help the team. So I think for every player at some point in the career, they're going to go through it. But for those guys, I know they've come back stronger.
cool, thank you.
That? What's Iowa State K-State?
It's 14-14.
14-14?
Yeah, about 10 minutes left.
How you guys doing? Good?
Fire away.
Well, that quarterback, Brown, just what do you see from him and just how much of a challenge is he going to be to just contain?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, exceptional athlete. You got to go back and watch the season before 23 and then the first part of 24. But I think you go back to 23 to kind of get a real feel of him, where he was hitting his stride at the end of the season right there. When he's in the game, you're playing 11-on-11 football. You always have to account for him in every run game. You have to account for him to scramble in the pass game. He's got a big arm. He's a big, much bigger body than a lot of the mobile quarterbacks are. I think he's 6'3" plus. He's 230 pounds plus. He's an impressive athlete on film.
You guys, last year in the past have done pretty well against mobile quarterbacks. What is it just about your scheme or your guys, or that you feel like you have found some success there? Yeah, I think it kind of we've been okay in the past. I don't know if we're great. There's been some of those games where the quarterbacks got loose on us a little bit, but I think the guys have to understand, it becomes triple option football where everybody's got a number, everybody's got somebody to account for, and you have to be very, very assignment sound, whether, you're the dive, whether you're the alley, whether you're the pitch, even though it's not triple option, there's still a pitch phase somewhere, there's still a quarterback run somewhere, there's still a dive somewhere. So those guys have to be very, very assignment sound. Their eyes have to be clean. And obviously this team, South Florida, poses another issue because their tempo is, I think it was number 1 or number 2 in the country last year as far as how fast they're moving from play to play. So also getting your eyes clean pre-snap and then post-snap, getting your eyes clean on what your person's doing, what your keys are doing. So there's a lot of different issues out there. A challenge like that in game one, I mean, you never like that, having to face somebody like that, but just game one with the tackling needing to be on point, all that kind of stuff that goes into it. Just what's this kind of challenge like right out of the gate?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. In fall camp, we've worked. I know you guys have been at practice, so we've been working tackling more, but it's still, you're never getting as many live tackles as you want. And then coming up onto a game like this where you're gonna have to tackle people in space. So like you see on film, right? Like they're going fast and people get the missed tackles really come when bad leverage happens, and we've been victim of that in the past as well. So we need to be really good with our leverage, really good with our alignments. And then we've got to have, there's going to be missed tackles, but they've got to be good missed tackles. They've got to be ones where we're in proper leverage, we're getting our shoulder pads in their thigh boards, and we're knocking it back to our other buddies that are coming from the opposite leverage. And, this team's going to go fast. People are going to get tired, but we have to have relentless pursuit, whether we're tired or not.
I just going off that, it's got high tempo, it's got weather, the humidity, first game of the season. How big is the depth going to be specifically for this first game? Just getting guys in and out.
Yeah, like, obviously we're going to have multiple packages to use our personnel the right way. And then you're going to have some guys, some depth players are going to have to step up and play some bigger roles in the game where you're, potentially playing a high number of plays and the game's moving really fast. So you're going to have some able bodies and some guys that we've trusted. We've developed depth with those guys, but there's going to be a big challenge for those guys who are not necessarily quote unquote the starters, but are going to get a lot of time in this football game.
But that being said, especially the interior line, the depth chart is 3 deep either side. Just, I guess, how you feeling about that group of guys and just defensive line as a whole, I guess.
Yeah, I think I feel good about it. We definitely are not there. Like, we need another week of work. And this has got to be a great week for us. And I know we put out a depth chart and all those kind of things, and that comes from all, who knows where. But this depth chart is still open. In my eyes, like, I don't know who those starters are on that defensive line because we've got a lot of competition going on right now. There's still some starting positions that are going to be sorted out, and there's still some who's going to be the next guy in the game to be sorted out. So this week is going to be huge for that group.
Braxton and Jaden, but a lot of newcomers or guys that fans maybe didn't play as much last year. Don't know. It's a largely a new group there on the defensive line. I guess when you go back to January and just putting this whole group together, trying to replace who you knew you lost. I know you said you're not there yet, but overall, just this group and a lot of newcomers, and how do you feel overall? Just a big picture about the group.
Yeah, I think I felt leaving spring ball, I felt like we made a lot of progress early in fall camp. I wish there was a little bigger step forward, but then here the last week of fall camp, the last week of practice, I really started to see it come alive and where we kind of envisioned this thing. Just like I said, we got some work to do, but I really had started feeling good about that group probably last week, that they really understand what we're trying to get done. The technique is really coming around and guys are executing at a high level.
Helps makes the change from safety to linebacker, and here he is cracking the depth chart. What is he showing you, and how big of a role is he going to play?
Yeah, I think, I think ever since Bo's got here, we knew that he was a really good football player. I think it was, about finding the right fit for him. And he made a lot of plays, and he's had some good seasons coming up, but we just kind of pulled him aside and said, hey, we think your best days are ahead of you, and, you're fighting to stay at your weight so you can play defensive back. Let's turn you loose and let's see how linebacker goes right now. And he played a lot of dime last year, which is, has a lot of similarities to the will linebacker position. So for him to go down there, him being able to gain some weight and finally eat like he probably wants to eat. And then I think he's also, that happens a lot when you're out on the perimeter at safety, at corner, and you may be a really good football player, but you're maybe not the most explosive guy, the fastest guy at that position. Then all of a sudden you move down a level and now you are. Like that breeds a lot of confidence. And Bo is playing very confident right now. He's making a lot of football plays. He's playing well in special teams and defense. So I'm really excited for Bo.
Obviously, last year, Tubes wore the green dot for you. Who gets the honor this year and why?
Yeah, I think right now it'll be Marco. If there's any changes to that, we'll let you know. But I think there's multiple guys that can wear it on our team. But Marco, similar to Tubes, like those two can handle a ton of information and they can get it out to the other guys. There's other guys that, not to say they're not as smart or anything like that, like that's just not their game. They need to call, they need to see what's going on and let it be. But I think Marco can do a lot of things for us wearing the green dot just like Tubes did.
Marco's playing time last year ebbed and flowed quite a bit at times. I'm assuming that's not necessarily going to be the case this year. How important is he going to be to the success of your defense?
Yeah, I think Marco's earned the right to play a lot of snaps of football, and sometimes he's going to be out, so we'll have to have that backup green dot ready as well. But Marco's earned the right to be on the field a lot. Marco's a big piece to this defense. He gets the front set. He's making the calls. He's making the checks. And, I think the guys believe in Marco just as a whole, and I think he just gives us that extra bit of security out there.
Good.
Yeah. It's fine, go for it.
With Banks and Mickey, how have you liked Banks at nickel and you guys list them as or? I mean, are they both, you think, going to play a lot? Or I know you get different stuff with dime or whatever, but I mean, how do you see competition at nickel.
Yeah, I think there's times where you can see them both on the field, and I think that if there's only going to be one on the field at a time, both of those guys have earned the right to play as well. And I think that position is a position where sometimes not having to play every single snap is a good thing because there's a lot of different jobs. There's coverage jobs, there's zone jobs, there's blitz jobs, there's being in the run fit, and there's a lot of those things that have to get talked through on the sideline. So being able to get a different guy in there and talk some things through with somebody is very helpful. But both those guys have had a really good camp. Both those guys have played really good football for us, so I'm excited about those guys.
Outside of good quarterback play for South Florida, is there anything else they do that you guys are going to have to specifically address or that really impresses you?
I mean, well, obviously getting the line to tempo, and they do a really good job of. Sometimes the tempo teams are, they're in one or two formations. They do a really good job of having some motions, having formations. They'll get in unbalanced. So we've had to work a lot of unbalanced stuff. They can get in a bunch. They can do a lot of things at high speed, which is impressive. And then the other thing is like they can have quarterback runs where the normal quarterbacks runs where it's read zone and those kind of things. And there's also some quarterback generated runs where it's quarterback counter, it's quarterback power, where he is the designated ball carrier. So you have to working very hard on those quarterback runs, all the different styles. And they do a very good job of getting him plays that he can be successful at. And then also, they obviously use those big splits. So we've had to work a lot on those because they can isolate receivers and or just get you in kind of man coverage in any defense you have.
You coached in Florida, so I'm sure you're well aware of the importance of being ready for anything weather-wise. How impressed were you with kind of some of the things Spencer did last week with simulating the weather delay and simulating the heavy rains and all that other stuff?
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good idea, and not only of course you're simulating the rain, but you also want to see like how do people respond from whatever the adversity is, going into the locker room and changing venues for that practice. Like who's going to respond? Some guys responded really good. Some guys, we have to work on that a little bit with them. But he did a lot of good things, and he's getting us ready for what we need to get ready for. But he's also, as you get through the end of that fall camp, there's a little monotony that builds up. And those were nice change of paces where the kids had to focus on something else. We're not just going to 7-on-7 run now, and we're not just going to one-on-one pass rush. We're going all the way in and we don't know when we're going to go back out. Now we're changing fields and there's water hoses going everywhere. So I think that was a cool idea by him. I think it was good for not only preparedness, but also giving the guys a little change up.
We spoke with Jeremiah Irby last week. He just talked, with any player, sure, but he talked about the importance of confidence in his game. And, maybe it wasn't what it needed to be the first half of last season, and then he figured it out and he played great. So what have you just seen out of Jeremiah confidence-wise? And do you think he'll start the season ultimately, maybe faster than he did last season?
Yeah, I think Jared's done a great job. All those DBs, those veteran guys have done a really good job. But I've seen Jeremiah, I think, to what you're referring to last year, he was kind of worried about getting himself lined up and worried if he was doing the right things. And I've seen him have confidence enough in his own game where now he's coaching those younger guys and he's even helping the veteran guys. Hey, we should do it like this if they get out there next time. So I've seen him just take a huge step with his growth, both football IQ, knowledge of the scheme, and then also the confidence piece that you talked about. So I think Jeremiah is going to start fast. He's going to have a really good year.
You talked a little bit about it, but could you expand a little bit on Marco? The kind of player this guy is, what he brings to your defense headed into this matchup against USF.
Yeah, I think, just for everybody, myself included, when he's out there, you just know there's a very low probability of things going wrong. Right now, they can go wrong at any point in time, but when he's out there, like he's going to check it if we need it to be checked. He's going to get the front set correctly. The blitz pattern is going to set correctly. If they line up in a formation that we maybe haven't seen, he's going to get this thing right, and he's going to communicate loud. That's why I like him on the green dot, because I can tell him, hey, Marco, that D tackles, go get him lined up. So anything that we need to get done out there, Marco can handle for us. And the guys have confidence in Marco that he's going to be lined up, he's going to do his job, and he's going to help others get their job done. So I just think it's a huge, in Jay's words, a huge confidence for the staff and the players on the field when Marco's out there.
Spencer's tired. He always wants to be the most prepared team in the country, and if something goes wrong in a game, to adjust quickly. How often does game one go as planned?
Not very often. Not very often. And I guess it can go as planned. It's just there's going to be new stuff, right? Like South Florida is going to do new things. We're going to do new things. There's going to be things that we're not prepared for, that we're going to have to make adjustments. It's kind of become not easier, but a little bit more manageable now with the iPads and those kind of things. At least you have the film where you can show the guys. But there's going to be everything in this game. There's going to be mistakes by me, by the players. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be new things that we haven't seen that we have to adjust to. And that's going to happen to both teams. So whoever handles that the best probably has a really good chance to win the football game.
Anything else?
What do you do for a 4.5 hour flight usually?
4.5 hours. We don't take too many of those, but usually on the flights, I'm watching practice from that morning. And then if that ever gets over, maybe throw on a movie or something if there's a new one. But most of the time it's watching the practice from that morning, because we're usually practice, hit the shower, right to the airport. So that's the only time we got to kind of watch that practice.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, Erik.